Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fire Emblem Path of Radiance Footlock playthrough. It's time to prepare for Clash. Oh god, Clash. Meanwhile, more recap screen. But it does have some interesting recap. Why isn't this narrated? I really don't get this. Fort Penel and Nados Castle. We're gonna take on both, and for now, I forget which one we're taking on. I think we're taking on Fort Penel right now. Pinel? Meanwhile, back at Melior. I know it says Crimea Castle, but it's named Melior. So, you'll have to excuse me. Crimean Gallia have finally joined forces, have they? In addition, the incident with the Heron princesses brought the Phoenicians to the struggle as well. Hawk King's getting involved, yep. Crimean's army strength is all but equal to our own, and growing daily. Of course, this pathetic ragged band still is no match for superior leadership and skill, eh? That's what you think, Mr. Black Knight. Divide our army into 2 battalions. Send one to meet the Crimeans, and who will be in charge of that one? Bertram. Does that bother you? Well then, perhaps I should leave you to see what happens. Looks like Ashnard's a little power drunk, but I'll leave it. I believe your heart has considered it. Dang. Then again, that's not wrong. Are you too, Sir Knight? In my absence, did you order the death of Aina? Aina. Oh yes, I had forgotten about that one. Also interested in her when she failed to hold Dane's capital, you know? I have no use for failures. I was trying to take care of her. Another failure under his command, eh? Capturing Aina would be enough. According to General Petran's men, they indeed have captured Aina. But with the General's death, they're unsure what to do with her. I was one of Petran's better qualities. She always did follow orders. Well, what do you intend to do? I should receive your instructions. Do you still wish to see her killed, or have you changed your mind? Do as you will. I care not. However, do not bring her into my presence. When that one is near, Rajayan seems to grow restless. As you will, Ashnard. In the meantime, Soren's about to go speak. They're here on Marhut Range. There's 2 castles. Fort Pinel and Castle Nados. With rations set, they could hold out a year. Say what you will, Dayan and her foul plan. One must admire her skill in the things of war, indeed. Why would you praise our foe? Speak the mean of it, good sir. The truth is harsh, but lies would be worse still. That's true. Will you two shut up, please? Sheesh. Penel and Nados are close to one another. I doubt they expect us to attack both at once, but seems to be a waste of strength. And they wouldn't want to give ambush from the rear while attacking. We can't divide our army, but we could send a small attack force to the base with the weaker defenses. Ah, very good time. Meanwhile, the main army would focus on the other to conquer it. Interesting. Fort Penel has more soldiers. Alrighty then. So we're tackling Castle Nados. I'll take my army unit. Or so of the Galleons. I think it's supposed to be some, so that's just a bit of a letdown there. Launch an attack and come meet us out. We'll retreat and we'll attack them again to keep them busy. Anyway, let's take care of the front by the day's end. Let's go capture that fort, shall we? And report from the last battle. A little bit of money earned, a bit of money spent on that javelin I forged, and maybe buying some other weapons. Lots of money still. Combat EXP is looking nice. And not as much bonus experience. I lost a good amount in the last chapter. And everyone's performing exceedingly well. By your relief, Soren. I'll see you guys after bonus experience. Very nicely done, Void. Very nicely done, Hark. Very nicely done, Rolf. Very nicely done, Nephany. Nicely done, Reese. Nicely done, Devdan. Very nicely done, Khalil. Very nicely done, Ileana. And with that, I'm finished handing out bonus experience. She only needs one more for her magic. And because of that, yeah, the Archer Band is going to stay on her for a while. As she needs 2 more for her speed and 2 more for her skill to cap. Hark, capture strength. I'm going to work on trying to cap your defense, as unlikely as that is. And other than that, Khalil and Devdan are the other 2 who I need to worry about. But I don't think it matters that much. Ike I also want to try to get up, but that's about it. Soldier Band. We'll see if anybody can use the Paladin Band. I doubt it though. Void, you're doing perfectly fine. You're 2 away from capping the stat I care about most, which is your ooh, excuse me. 2 away from capping your stat which I care about most, which is your speed. Speaking of which, Paladin Band. Also, how accurate is this thing? 65, 65, 65. I'm gonna give the Tomahawk. Wow, I really have not been using Void. I do remember that this map has a lot, and I do mean a lot, of frickin' horseback units, so I'm just gonna grab a poleaxe. I think the Tomahawk and Steel Bow will... Actually, you know what, I'm gonna throw the Steel Bow back in the convoy. I'll use it on the map after, but for this map I think it's better. Probably have both poleaxes at this rate. Hark, back to Ike. I'll charge you back the better Killing Edge, considering that you'll make better use of it. And once the old Killing Edge, his original one, goes bye-bye, I'll give him the Vague Coddy. Not sure if I need to keep sleep on Ileana, but I'll do it anyways for the time being. Let's see. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. In the meantime, let's see. Savior, not gonna get that much use. I'll take a full vulnerary. Mage Band and equip the thing. One here. Breeze. Fully used Elwind. That. Don't really care for anything else. Unless there's something in the shop. Elfire? Not really. Nah. Bang. I'll grab the somewhat broken Elwind. And that's that for Khalil. Flame Lance and everything else is perfectly fine there. You. I'm gonna sell off that longbow. And left, I'll take the Brave Bow. Left. Convoy. I'll worry about... I think I need some filler units. Or at least I think that's what I need. I'll worry about that once we actually get... right before we get into the fight. Let's see. What should I put in there if I'm worried about running out of uses on items? Night Killer will come in handy in this chapter. Honestly, I'd probably take the Killer Bow. Yeah, Killer Bow. Oh, I should have thrown your inventory into the convoy. Mr. Bastion. So you're not going to be deployed. Volk, you've got one more job to do. In the meantime, supports. See Hark and Ilyana finally get their A. Ilyana, I'm bumping into you all over the place these days. What's wrong? You look a little different today. How so? She looks a bit cuter than usual. Definitely a little cuter. You're hungry though. I can tell from the feral look in your eyes. Feral? Excuse me? You're a bit of celebrity among the men in the unit. You say you lure them in with your cute face and run off with their snacks. Oh yes they do. You're a beef jerky thief, aren't you? I know all about your apple pie incident too. Yeah, I know your tricks. It's true that you don't remember their names, even after you buy them an expensive meal. Or is it true, excuse me? That's just terrible. Terrible indeed. But she collapses into a coma whenever she gets too hungry, eh? At least remember their names. Even if you had ulterior motives, everyone likes or is kind to you. Don't apologize to me. You didn't take my apple tart. Well, shall we get going? You're hungry, right? I feel bad about preaching to you, so this dinner is on me. I'm sure. Can't have you going hungry on me either. However, I'm not rich. All I can afford is 2 dinners. Thank you so much. Ike? No, wait. Bill, Lance, Sword Guy, Zahark. Zahark. I really appreciate it. A little cute. Not gonna lie. It ends with a happy ending. And Khalil. Let's finish this support and chain off. Did you run an errand, Neffany? Just saw some beetle nuts on the trees here, so. I see. And why pray tell is beetle nut? Oh, they're swell. We use the oils on the shell to treat insect bites. Ah! We don't have such trees in the city. My country wisdom is amazing. Oh, but listen to me ramble. Can I sample one of your nuts? But be careful, Khalil. The shell is real sticky. Don't touch it with your bare hands. Ah, I see. But perhaps if I hold the top and bottom edges of the shell like so, the oil won't contact my skin. How did you... delicious. You're not from the city at all. Shush. I don't need... You didn't see anything. Unsophisticated urbanite, right? Or I'm a sophisticated urbanite. What, surprised? Oh, come now. You're not the only one who doesn't want to be known as a country bumpkin. That's why I know how you feel. But now I know that I can be like you if I work hard. That makes me happy. I will work hard, Khalil. Hallelujah, she sees the light. It's funny. Bring back a good man to her village, eh? She's quite the interesting one. Lucia and Bastion. Everybody's there for Bastion, but I'll save that for a different time. Last up, info. Soldier. May I have a moment of your time? What is it? I'd like your advice on something. If I was faced with an undefeatable enemy, what would I do as the weaker fighter? Should I try to avoid slowing down the other better fighters and retreat? Or do I sacrifice myself at least to land a single blow on the opponent? Far stronger than you, there's no need to get yourself killed. Study the enemy first and see if retreating is the only option. I'd like you to do that much at least. Study the enemy. That's right. What type of fighter are they? What kind of weapon are they using? And things like that. If you can learn to do that, you can determine how best to engage your opponent. Those are very core of combat fundamentals, aren't they? Oh, I'm a danged fool. It could be. I think all my trouble started because I wasn't paying enough attention to the basics. Which is true. Thank you, sir. You're the smartest general ever. What a brave little fella. But this isn't exactly the best advice. In fact, it's advice for, again, a chapter later, very much like Jill's conversation with Har way earlier in the game. But for now, let's leave the base. Elincia is rocking some new clothing. And she has a Pegasi, her grandmother's Pegasus. And join you on the battle lines. Where'd you get that? Belonged to her great-grandmother, but she's going to try nevertheless. As for that, did you agree to this, Joffrey? No, personally I'm against it, but she is the princess, and it is her wish, so you can do nothing. The princess's great-grandmother was a Benyon Pegasus knight of some renown before marrying into House Crimea. Ah, that's interesting. And Elincia is both good at riding and swordsmanship, so it makes sense. Behold the Pegasus and uniform. All treasures of House Crimea's fair. If you would never stand a chance without her proper steed. Behold the sun. Clad in the raiments of fair and fine, gives us courage to love and continue on their cause. Very nicely done, said Bastion. Meanwhile, Prince Renning foresaw the time when the princess would need them, and bade us to convey them from the palace. Even as his life abandoned him, be true to your heart and live as it dictates. Those were his final words to her. Interesting. Interesting. I have no experience. Do not expect to fight as well as the rest of you. But this is constant wanting and doing nothing. It sets my heart beating with such unease, I fear it may be ready to burst. And she can use a staff to heal the wounded. If it saved just one soldier, it means so much to her. Sadly, I'm going to do my best. Something I cannot allow or disallow. She is my employer. If this is what the princess wants, all you can do is comply. Be careful, will ya? Let us go forth. Forth like sunlight to the dawn. Elincia fights, Crimea wins the day. I'll review Elincia once we actually get onto the map, because this map is quite huge. However, I'm going to also strip down the amount of units I'm bringing to the map. As, honestly, I can't bring in that many units, and I don't want to bring in that many units. Double R's. Hell, they're going to triple R's by the end of this. This is going to be a long battle. We can overcome them. In this war, there's no retreat. Choose units. Lucia, Bastion, Joffrey, Jill, Har, Ranulf. All of you stay out. In the meantime, Elincia. In order to get the immunity, by the way, Joffrey, Bastion, and Lucia all must be alive by the time this chapter starts. But Elincia herself, she comes with an immunity and the amend. The immunity is only useful on her. It is a brave sword with that's indestructible. Other than that, not much else to say. She is weighed down by it at base, but if you use an energy drop or two, she'll actually have 18 speed and a brave sword, essentially. She'll at least be able to chip in reasonably well. In the meantime, as I start repositioning people, this chapter is quite the headache for a lot of different reasons. But I'll go over them as we get more, as this map goes on, as this map has a very odd tenor to the battle. I'll position everybody like this. Elincia, I know you have a men's staff. Oh, by the way, one other thing I should note. She has renewal by default, meaning that she'll heal up, but her HP is kind of low, so not much to help there. And she has a D rank in swords, not that it matters, and an A rank in staffs, and considering that she is mainly a staff spot, kind of helps. Elincia is this game's Est. I'd highly recommend that if you want to have her see any combat, give her 1 or 2 levels of bonus experience level ups, and absolutely give her a lot of healing staffs to fill up the rest of her inventory. I am not doing the rules of my Footlock, but you can go back once she's in there, and you can award EXP to heal her like she was a normal unit. But, leave the base. I might not have enough for everybody. Well, actually, one thing I just realized I probably should do instead of that, I'm going to grab the Command Staff, as I think that might be for the best. And this is one of the few chapters where Reese, instead of Physic, I'm going to give you the Sheriff's Staff, just in case. And I'm going to give Nosferatu and take the other Nosferatu instead. Just because I got not much better to do. In the meantime, just keep an eye out on where all the enemies are. And I'd suggest dividing your groups into two, but I'll cover this and more in the next part. Until then, I hope you guys take care, and I'll see you in the Battle of Clash. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, as well as hit the notification bell to stay up to date. The next part is in the description, or it should be on screen right now. I'll see you for the battle in the next part.